This is the Wall COG exercise from Anatomy in Motion. To set up for this, you can use wedges underneath your feet. So we have inversion wedges, meaning they're going in, sloping in towards the foot on both sides. If you don't have wedges, that's okay. We'll actually throw them out for the purpose of this exercise. So to set up for this exercise, we'll start with our heels on the wall, and Connor's going to take a half foot step to a 3/4 foot step forward, and then he's gonna bring his other foot to match. The feet will stay fixed right here the entirety of the exercise. Next thing we're gonna look at is having the head against the wall, the upper back against the wall, and then the belt line against the wall. Those 3 points of contact will stay there during the entirety of the exercise as well. To initiate the movement, Connor's gonna go ahead and inhale. As he does so, he'll bend his knees forward to get on top of that midfoot. His pelvis will anteriorly tilt or rotate forward. His spine will extend, his rib cage will posteriorly tilt. And we also want to have the eyes fixed straight ahead. So his head won't really move, but because his rib cage is lifting up, as his eyes are fixed, you're going to see cervical flexion happening. Also, we're using the arms moving into external rotation to help raise the sternum up and get more extension through the spine here. Next, Connor's going to exhale. He'll start to straighten out his knees here. Pelvis will posteriorly tilt or tuck under. Ribs will anteriorly tilt, spine will flex. And because the eyes are fixed forward, you'll see cervical extension start to occur. The arms are assisting in this, so as he pronates or internally rotates, the shoulder blades will ride over the top into an anterior tilt, protraction or moving away from the spine, and he'll also see the neck start to move into extension with those eyes fixed forward. So as we go through this exercise, we want to see all the joint motions I just described happening together. So as Connor's inhaling, we're going to see the extension of his spine. As he's exhaling, we'll see the flexion of his spine, just like that. Perfect. As he inhales here, chest rises, sternum rises, neck flexes. As he exhales, sternum depresses, neck extends. And they're called COGs because you see this opposition happening. Pelvis is moving one way, rib cage is moving the other, head is moving in the same direction as the pelvis, but opposite of the rib cage at all times. So key points of emphasis are maintaining those points of contact. On the posterior tilt of the pelvis, what we want to emphasize is the back being smushed up against the wall. So we're trying to bring the lumbar spine towards the wall, the shoulder blades separated, and you'll see space underneath his neck. So really those are the things we want to look for there, space underneath the neck and no space underneath the lumbars. As he goes into extension with that inhale, we're going to see the space underneath his neck diminish as he goes into cervical flexion, and the space underneath his lumbars will increase as he goes into lumbar and thoracic extension. A common mistake you'll see in this exercise is people having trouble posteriorly tilting their pelvis and flexing their lumbar and thoracic spine. If you see this, a really easy adjustment is to use wedges. So using those inversion wedges we talked about. And if you only have 2 wedges, you want to put them underneath your forefoot only. If you have 4 wedges, which is a little bit more ideal, you'll just set up wedges underneath the heel in the exact same way. What this is going to do is it's going to help supinate or invert the foot so that you have a little bit more ability to posteriorly tilt the pelvis and flex the spine. So Connor will just do that flexed position with these wedges underneath his feet, and he should be able to feel those lumbars go against the wall a little bit more easy. The next common mistake we'll see is matching up the knee mechanics with the pelvic mechanics. So ideally, as Connor goes into knee extension here, we want his pelvis to posteriorly tilt. The reason for this is as we flex the spine, it's going to shift your weight posteriorly or backwards, and we want to match that up with the knee straightening and shifting weight onto the heels. You'll notice most people, as they posteriorly tilt, want to bend the knees, and we do not want this to happen, or we don't want it to happen excessively. If you need to start with knee bend as you posterior tilt, that's okay, but we want to work to knee extension with the posterior tilt. Also, with anteriorly tilting, we'll see as people anteriorly tilt their pelvis or roll it forward, they'll want to straighten out their knees, and that's not going to feel very comfortable. So as you anteriorly tilt, you want to actually add a little bit of knee bend there. And what you'll actually notice is it will assist in helping you to anteriorly tilt your pelvis, because the weight shifting forward will help your foot pronate, which is a down and in position, and anteriorly tilting your pelvis is a down and in position as well. The second common mistake we'll see here is a mismatch of knee mechanics and pelvic mechanics. So ideally, as we posteriorly tilt the pelvis or roll it backwards, we would like to see the knees simultaneously extend. The reason for this is straightening out the knees will start to bring weight to the heels, and flexing the spine will also help shift your weight backwards. So if we're mismatching there, like if we have a knee bend forward with a flexed spine, we're having something shift us forward while something else is trying to bring us back. So ideally, we want the knees to be straight as that pelvis posteriorly tilts. If you can't do this to start, it is okay to have a little bit of knee bend as you posteriorly tilt, but over time, slowly work to getting that knee extension with that posterior tilt.